walking on the moon.
One moment to escape. And you're walking on the moon. I've never been. Dance again. All our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been. All our trouble seems to fade away. When we dance never been. Never been.
I don't wanna wait for a storm that ain't coming, or hide from the sun in the morning. I don't wanna run from something I can't define, but I gotta be careful with what I call mine. I know you too well. I'll climb up on the roof and yell. I've learned all that I know, and we put on quite a show. I'd be lying if I said I'm coming back. I just wanna go, I wanna walk away. Never wanted to love you anyway. Guess I should've known, won't pick up the phone. Go on and watch me fade. When you see the lights faded in the night, know that I'm fine alone. I'll be running for the skyline, sun in my eyes. No music, but I'm dancing. I'll be running, I'll be running by, I'll be running, I'll be running by, I'll be running, I'll be running by, I'll be running, I'll be running for the skyline, sun in my eyes. Skyline, sun in my eyes. Skyline, sun in my eyes. No music, but I'm dancing. cosmos in my memory. No more waiting for a sign now. It's time for me to leave. As the world closes on the door of what we came to be, I regret nothing. I can set my mind free. I know you too well. I'm up on the roof and yeah, I've learned all that I know, and we put on quite a show. And I'd be lying if I said I'm coming back. I just wanna go, I wanna walk away. Never wanted to love you anyway. Guess I should've known, won't pick up the phone. Go on and watch me fade. When you see the lights fading in the night, know that I'm fine alone. I'll be running for the skyline, sun in my eyes. No music, but I'm dancing. I'll be running, I'll be running, I'll be running, I'll be running down, I'll be running, I'll be running, I'll be running, I'll be running for the skyline, sun in my eyes, skyline, sun in my eyes, skyline, sun in my eyes. No music, but I'm dancing.
on, everybody? We are back for our next matchup of the night, and this time we are heading to the rival league for a great matchup between the Panthers and the Kings. I'm Rockerman here, back for this one, joined by Cook and Bagels. Bagels, we got a banger. How you doing tonight?
We do have a good one indeed. I'm doing a little bit okay. Usually, if my day's going a little bit awry, kind of warms up a little bit with some good old Rocket League here at
Yeah.
Nemesis. But hopefully, this Panthers Kings matchup will not disappoint.
Yeah, I hope so as well. It should be a really good one right here between these two teams. The Panthers coming in at the 3 seed, and the Kings made a great run through the play-in tournament as the 7 seed. So both these two teams, a lot to look forward to in this matchup. Bagels, what can you tell us about these two teams, their runs, their players? What can you tell us about them?
Yeah, well, the Kings actually started all the way back in the play-in tournament where they reverse swept the I think it was Lightspeed actually to punch their ticket in here. And it's been a little bit of a weird route for them. Uh, but somehow they've made it this far into the semis. But they're gonna have quite the competitor here in Panthers, who have also made their way up here. But I mean, Panthers, they've kind of been able to take down some of those top tier teams. So it's going to be up to the Kings to try and prove themselves. But the fact that they've made it to semis and gotten this far means that they could be quite a threat as well. But I wouldn't put it past Panthers to find a meeting there in the grand finals against Pineapples.
Yeah, and speaking of the Pineapples, let's take a look at that rivalry playoff bracket. You guys can see it on your screen right now. The Pineapples, they're moving on to the grand finals after an absolutely wild reverse sweep. They came back from down 0-3, the Pineapples did, to send themselves to the grand finals. Talked about the Panthers. They pulled off a sweep over the Chiefs in their first matchup, who were another team that people thought were probably going to win it all. And then you see the Kings, they made their way through the play-in tournament, reverse swept Lightspeed, took down Distortion in their first round matchup, set up this one, a great one between 3 and 7 seed Bagels. And the winner of this one gets the luxury of playing the Pineapples. But going into this matchup, it's hard for me to make a prediction. Do you have any thoughts one way or the other?
I mean, just upon record alone and the dominance that Panthers have been able to show at times, I would easily predict Panthers here, although certainly the Kings could pull off an upset. And I really don't think the Panthers were tested in their previous matchup. It really seemed like the Chiefs were not playing well, and the Panthers easily kind of swept them. Looked like the Chiefs were making a lot of mistakes, whereas on the other side, Kings had to battle out the number 2 seeded Distortion to make it through here. I think they ended up winning in 6, or maybe it was a 5-game series away. The Kings able to beat the number 2 seeded Distortion, so they got tested here. And Panthers have been waiting a bit, so Kings could come back here and maybe knock the Panthers in the teeth a little bit. But talking about that other side of the bracket, I mean, really the Pineapples and Mafiosos, that was a hell of a series. So whoever wins this series, as Rex is going to get it started off early, is going to have quite the competitor on the other side of the bracket.
Yeah, we'll be, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. As the Kings coming out early, starting off great, as Rex is going to find the back of the net there. That Kings roster with Edwin, Rex, and Botsy on there. Definitely a dangerous roster. We heard a lot from them. And then the Panthers on the other end with Drago, Sand, and Living Like Larry, who's nicknamed Living Like Carrie after his performance in the last matchup against the Chiefs.
Yeah, definitely quite the performance he did have. It looked like he carried them. As another opportunity, Botsy is going to put it away. And 2 players kind of clustered on the side post there. Nobody made a move.
Yeah, a little bit awkward there, and Botsy just is going to take that one right through the defenders. And the Kings starting up early. This is what they did, Bagels, in their last series. They didn't quite do it in their first play-in tournament match where they clinched the 7 seed, but in their last one, they started out early against Distortion. And right now they've got a 2-0 lead, and the underdogs yet again. That is exactly how you start a series off.
Yeah, but Panthers have been known to come back in here. Opportunity, but Sand putting it off. Going to follow his own touch, but not able to quite put that one through. But, I mean, actually, I think it was towards the end of the season, the Panthers actually almost ended up reverse sweeping the Chiefs and ended up sweeping them in their next meetup. But, I mean, Kings, this is exactly what you want. I was saying it just a second ago that they got to knock the Panthers in the mouth, the teeth here early, and they are doing so with 2 goals in the first minute.
Great start for the Kings. The underdogs in this one is trying to make something happen. And I believe, if my memory serves correctly, I think the Power Rankings team had Panthers 75%, if I recall correctly. So definitely the underdogs. And I mean, Bengals, they're used to being the underdogs, though, and that is something I know from last season. Despite getting the 1 seed, I know all about the underdog status. When people are counting you out, that can really motivate you to kind of perform and show everyone what you're all about.
Yeah, and the Kings, everybody's been counting them out ever since their origin. As I'll have to continue my thought here in a second, as Sand is putting another strange goal. There are people in net, but nobody able to get that.
Yeah, that's the one thing about the Kings that we've seen sometimes. They can get a little bit awkward there, and they can make those mistakes. Another one came out there, but everyone makes mistakes. Unfortunately, that one results in Panthers' goal as they cut this score to 2-1. As another one, a triple commit comes out from the Kings, but Sand, he can't quite turn it around. Now he sends it off the sidewall. This one out of the middle. Larry, throw it in the middle. Drago looking for the shot. He puts it in, and the Panthers come back quickly to tie it up.
Yeah, and I feel like all of a sudden now the Kings defense are the ones that's being awkward. Is Botsy. He just invested way too much into that play. He ended up pre-flipping out of net, and that left, I think, Edwin last back there. But just a breakdown of defense for the Kings here that the Panthers have put on, and they gave up those 2 goals early, but now within we've had 2 minutes and 4 goals, so. And this has been happening all playoffs here, Rockerman. In the first game, I feel like the first game has just been a blowout game on both sides. Yeah. Almost every series.
No, I agree with you. There's some reason, there's something about these game ones where these teams just come out firing and just score just immense amount of goals. And right now, you're exactly right. Halfway point, 4 goals combined by both these teams. It's all tied up at 2. And we're certainly not done yet. There would at least be 1 more goal scored as Panthers coming in on this one. And Sand, he throws it off the backboard, looking for the follow. He finds another touch as the Kings double commit. Larry trying to come in. But that one sent off to the side as he's trying to follow it. 1 more, but Botsy picking up a savior medal here in game 1. As Sand getting it by 1, trying to get it by a second, but Botsy able to get through as this one's sent up. And sent down. Drago in midfield. Edwin catching it. Over 1, Sand diving into this one. Edwin dunks him out. The net is wide open. Botsy is up for the shot. He puts it in. A nice play by the Kings to give themselves the lead right back.
Yeah, I mean, it was an open net, but I'm glad he hit it because all 3 players were in the Kings box. I mean, good read. Didn't necessarily matter the speed because it was wide open, but good read from Botsy. But then on the other side, the last attack there, the last drive for the Panthers, Sand, he had an easy double tap. He had 60 boost to work with to find the double, but he just didn't. He just couldn't get up to the ball, and that's a shot I expect somebody like Sand to hit, and then they get scored on 20 seconds later.
You got to capitalize on your opportunities, especially being here in the semifinals. Winner of this one moving on to the Rival League Grand Finals for a chance at the championship. So every play and every mistake is magnified. Now the Panthers find themselves down here yet again in game 1 as they're firing towards the net, but Rex with a huge save. It's Drago sending it back in the midfield. Larry's trying to find a redirect, but he can't. As Edwin bumped off this ball. Sand to the backboard. It's Edwin trying to get to Botsy. He's going to take it away from him. He's going to pop it by Drago. Larry going to get to this one, but still out of the midfield. Dangerous ball. Here's Botsy's harassing in the net. Edwin taking it slow, trying to get it by, but he's dunked out. And now a minute remaining in game number 1. The Panthers trying to find one here, but Botsy, again, another goal line stop from him, a defensive maniac, as now the Kings on the counterattack. And yeah, so far, Bagels, Botsy has been huge on the defensive end, and the Kings holding on their 1-goal lead.
Yeah, and I think he's actually the lowest MMR player on the roster, but definitely in the past series, even in the play-in tournament, the
Series against Distortion, he's been able to play along with Rex and Edwin, and Edwin kind of been the mainstay here in Nemesis as a demo comes out. He gives away the ball early in the 1v1, but definitely Botsy is a really good support player, even an offensive player here for the Kings.
He definitely has, and so far he's coming up huge as they are holding on their lead here in the final seconds of game 1. Can the Panthers mount one more play here? A dunk comes through in the middle. Larry is there for the shot. He puts it in and ties it up with only 6 seconds remaining.
And again, a lot of space. I mean, Edwin, he rightfully was leaving it for, I think that was Rex. He left it for Rex, but I mean, Rex just charged in and got a really bad 50, but good challenge from the Panthers player to send that one mid. But again, all 3 goals that the Panthers have been scored, it just looks like lackadaisical play coming out from the Kings. But Kings, when they're on offense, they can score, but defense is where they got to worry about. But we are headed to overtime here in game 1, like we have so many times in this playoffs. We've seen a lot of overtimes in game 1, a lot of close game 1s, even with the high scoring elements.
Yeah, 6 goals, and we're heading to overtime here. See who's going to take the first game, this best of 7 series. Is Larry going to get it by in the midfield? Rex on the dribble. Drago going to dunk him out as he sends it back into King's half. Edwin, though, with a nice booming clear. Sand meets him on the net. See Rex finding a dunk. Botsy is there, throwing it towards the net. It's wide open, just a little bit wide. Edwin there for the follow. He puts it in, and Edwin secures game 1 for the Kings.
And again, another misplay from Sand, and just whiffs off the sidewall. And even Larry could have stepped up and dunked that one from Edwin. He made himself look real big, and somehow Edwin is able to slip it by. But grid shot from Edwin, top shelf, to secure the game 1 here. So important for the Kings to start off with that good momentum against a team like the Panthers, who very well could meet the grand finals, or meet the Pineapples in the grand finals. But I mean, Panthers, they had 12 shots. Kings, they had not too far behind at 8, but still a 12-8 disparity. Panthers really should have won that game, but I feel like they're going to make some adaptations here headed into game 2, because Kings, they looked good, but they didn't look great.
Yeah, the Kings definitely had their moments there in this one, as you know, they come out and just take this game. And the Kings, this is what we talked about, Bagels, is making those performances from, in that game 1, being the underdog. They did it against Distortion, leading to their victory, their 4-2 victory over them, and they do it again here. And now they kind of force the Panthers to say, okay, we got to take a step back here, and we have to regain and take this game. You don't want to give the Kings more confidence than necessary.
Yeah, no, especially the way that they have this run. And this is actually what I was going to mention earlier on, is Sam getting bumped off the kickoff. But I mean, I don't think the Kings have ever made it to semis in their whole existence since season 1. In fact, I don't even think they've made it into playoffs, but once or twice. It's a big save from Botsy. And honestly, the last time I can remember was when I was playing in season 1 against Bubbly in the playoffs, and I think that was the furthest the Kings have ever made it. So this is really important. We've seen it in Venom. Venom's first time making the playoffs. They are now in grand finals, so could be a little history here for the Chess Hall org if Kings can somehow beat Panthers here.
Yeah, a crucial game. They got the entire hopes of their org riding on their back, as they're the last team remaining, with the Bishops going down earlier on stream. So I know these guys are really trying to step up huge for Bubbly, who's been a great player in Nemesis and a great GM. As this one's sent off to the side now. Kings trying to get out of their half as they clear it out of the midfield. Botsy with a touch, stopping in there. And this one pop back up. Panthers back on it. Sand looking for the dunk. Throws it back across towards the net. Larry trying to get to it, but he can't. This one, Drago just unable to touch that one. Panthers send it right back in the middle. Edwin is there as he throws this up to the sidewall. Taken to the sky, but no boost to work with. He's just faking this one out. As Rex tried to come through. Sand. Now Rex out of the midfield looking for Botsy. 2 Panthers are up, but they make the save. Larry on the fall down, just able to make that touch. That one was almost deadly. I thought for sure Bengals, they were about to get scored on, but the Panthers, a lucky bounce, and they save it away.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a lucky save coming out as the pressure's still on. Another whiff from Sand. Sand, it just doesn't look like he's performing right now, between the missed double and 2 big whiffs on the corner reads and the sidewalls. But a demo comes out, and Sand, all he has to do is put it on net. Good play from Larry right there.
Yeah, Larry just coming through, snagging the boost and snagging the demo, opening up the exact spot where the ball goes through. A nice play as he sets it up, and Sand converts.
Yeah, and just that's what you want after getting beat in an overtime where you really feel like the Panthers should have won that game 1. So the score here is early, but hold on a second. Hold on, how fast was it? I'm going to say 88.
Oh,
92 miles an hour here from this team bench.
Oh my goodness. He just collided at an absolute banger to the back of the net. Wow. There aren't words.
That might be one of the fastest shots in Nemesis history right there.
It might have been there as the Kings tie it up, and immediately Larry comes back and regains the lead.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to move on really quickly from that fantastic goal, but this is the third. I think every single kickoff this game has gone the Panthers' way. The Kings just not showing up here on the kickoff, like losing it terribly every time. We'll have to see what happens here. Finally able to win that one outright, but definitely the kickoff's not going the Kings' way. But I mean, good capitalization from Larry once again to score that one.
Larry and Sand has been a duo that has really stepped up here. We've seen it in the playoffs so far. As here they are again, Larry to Sand towards the net, but Botsy in the right place as Drago cuts this one back in. Larry gonna flip it out and try to keep possession. As Sand is up, trying to beat Edwin. Edwin just able to get a touch on it. It's Botsy now trying to clear it out. It's sent back in. Drago with an opportunity here. The net open as he shoots it towards, but Edwin just able to get to the post in time. As now Rex sending it down the field looking for Botsy. And this one just gonna go by. The defender can't connect, and Rex ties us up at 2.
Yeah, and I feel like another mistouch coming out from Sand to dish that one out to the middle. But either way, you feel like Larry should have been able to bail his team out there and seemingly just floating past the ball. A strange goal that the Panthers have given up. But either way, the goal scoring is not stopped here into game 2. Neither team feeling like the defense is the priority here.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta throw as many goals in the back of the net, and that seems to be the strategy these two teams are employing. As we have got 4 more goals in this game. As this one popped up in midfield, Edwin out to Larry, who stops it down. Looking to stay with it as Rex diving in, gonna find a 50, but it's still popping up towards the Kings net. Edwin finds a touch, but only out in the midfield. As Dan looking for the shot here, Botsy and Rex collide. But Botsy can pick up another savior medal again as he has been all over the defensive end. As Rex now looking out for Botsy. Rex gonna fake underneath one. Larry gonna find a touch to the corner as Edwin. He sends it back. Drago has to make this touch, and he does. To the corner, Rex popping it up. Dangerous ball. No one can connect from the Kings as that one should have been another shot on net, but they can't find it. And now the Panthers on the attack, but Rex with a good read, getting it by 2 Panthers defenders, or offenders, is now they're racing back on defense. As Botsy is up off the backboard. Awkward in net is Larry as they pinch to collide it out, and there's some awkward plays right here, Bagels. Both these two teams just kind of flailing at times.
Yeah, and again, I have to point it out, another big whiff from Sand on defense. And not only that, it looks like Sand and Larry have double committed at least 3 or 4 times in this game, and somehow, at least as far as the double commits are concerned, haven't been punished yet. As somehow Sand has worked his way past 2, but straight over to Edwin. Rex up on the sidewall trying to put it on. Can he find the double, but not able to, and Edwin is coming out with a big save from Larry. But, I mean, I don't know, just the strange, this definitely a strange play happening right now, overall.
It definitely is. I do not know how Larry saved that ball. It seemed like he was also flailing yet again. But they make the save, and the Panthers keep this ball game tied as we once again maybe approaching another overtime. As this ball's popped up, the Panthers looking for one more to end regulation. Larry, he sends it to the net. It's open. Botsy with a huge save again on the goal line. And we are going to have our second overtime in a row.
Yeah, and the flailing you're mentioning as another kickoff going the Panthers' way. Botsy has to find the save, but he dishes it out to the middle, but nobody quite ready to capitalize there for the Panthers. But it really does look like these aerial plays coming out from both teams, they're really like, maybe they're trying to practice their air roll lefts, their air roll rights, something, but they're just moving in the air way too slow. I feel like they just got to go back to basics and just focus on touching the ball, maybe one spin, but they're just... I mean, in Rival, there's definitely players that can do that. We've seen that on the Pineapples, the Mafiosos, Hydra, but these two teams, it looks like the mechanics aren't there. And I was going to mention it, it really did feel like the other side of the bracket was stacked, and this is just kind of a lower tier matchup at the moment.
Yeah, maybe so, as these two teams, they're trying to make something happen in this one, but yeah, a couple of mistakes early, could just be those early stream jitters here, as now this one's sent back in. Who's going to take overtime here in game 2? Rex sends it down, and Sand pops it up into the ceiling, looking for another follow, but he can't connect. Is this one sent down? No. It's going to find the back of the net. Larry puts it home, and we have ourselves a tied series.
And Sand just like seemingly baiting everybody in. I mean, I thought he had the second hit, but either way, if you're Botsy, you just gotta stay back there. It's too risky to send two players camping underneath the play like that. And you know, honestly, I don't even know who just scored that last one, but they just came flying in to seal away that opportunity. But I mean, honestly, the Panthers again with an insane shot total. They're sitting at 11 shots to Kings 5, but really, it didn't feel like they had that much of an offensive presence on the side of the Kings field. I mean, I don't know if it was just the Kings came up with a lot of saves, but it really didn't feel like the Panthers. I mean, I'm going to go back to what I'm saying. It felt like the other side of the bracket was stacked. These two teams, if they make it to the grand finals, they got to play better than this. I know it's only 2 games into this semifinal series, but it's just I feel like there's a lot of performance being left off the table here.
Yeah, there have been quite a few mistakes, but I mean, all things considered, you know, sometimes you get into the sloppy series bagels. I'm not sure. I'm not as convinced that it, you know, this side of the bracket isn't as stacked, in my opinion, from seeing these teams play. I'm thinking that it's just a little bit of sloppy play to start this game. I think both these teams played a lot better. I mean, we saw the Panthers play earlier, where they swept, and we saw the Kings play, and in both those series, they actually looked really good. So I'm going to disagree with you on that one. I think that this one we might be able to chalk it up to just a couple of mistakes early as they try to work some kinks out in, you know, the most crucial game of the season.
We will have to see as Sand. Can he find the double here? Surely he will. A little bit of an awkward read, but Sand once again securing the first goal for the Panthers here. They scored first last game and ended up winning that one.
And this one, just an easy double tap as Sand takes it around the defender, and he'll hit that one all day. Every day of the week, he puts that one home, and the Panthers starting out good here in game number 3 as they try to take the 2-1 series lead.
Yeah, and again, scoring first, that's how you want to do it. And showing out, like I said, it wasn't necessarily a convincing backward read, but either way, Sand, he has been struggling so far in these first 3 games. Some suspect whiffs on the sidewall from the corner, even missing an open net, but all of a sudden here he is again to send a second away. And I was about to say he's starting to get his confidence up.
He definitely is, as here's Larry to Sand yet again, and just too quick for Botsy to handle that one as he throws it in the back of the net, and quickly a 2-0 lead here in the game number 3, not a minute in, and the Panthers already firing. Now the Kings are going to have to look for some sort of answer here as Drago dunked out by Botsy in the midfield, but Sand, nice clear off to the side. Is this one out? Edwin by 1. Rex with an opportunity, but he's dunked away. Is Sand going to turn on it? Is Botsy throwing this one towards the net, looking for the shot, a demo attempt. But Larry, he's able to clear it away. It's Edwin trying to get this one out. It's only to Rex. He's taking it to the sky. Drago is there. Edwin looks like he pre-jumped that one. As that one is going to fall off to the side. Still in the Panther zone is Larry to the sidewall. He's going to get dunked out of this one, dropping towards the net. Edwin, an opportunity, pinches it through, but all the Kings players are on the goal line for some reason, and they are unable to capitalize on the potentially great setup.
Yeah, I think they were looking for a bump as this one's still
Oh,
dangerous.
my.
Surely he will. Rex will finally capitalize, but I was going to say, we saw it a lot in the Distortion series. Edwin, the main offensive threat here, at least as far as the demos and the bumps go. I haven't seen any bumps from them or demos in the first 2 games of the series, and finally I think maybe they realized that in between game 2 and 3 there that they haven't been implementing that part of their game, and Edwin and Rex have definitely been hunting the Panthers players here in net for game 3 as the pressure's still on. Here's Edwin looking to fling this one through, but Sand with a big save.
Now the Kings, they're back on the offense this time, but Drago, a nice touch to Larry, who's looking for the musty, as he can't quite put that one on net. Maybe getting a little bit too stylish there as Edwin now sending it down as the Kings double committed on this one, but so are the Panthers as they get a little clear off to the side. Larry trying to get it by Rex here. Gonna pop it just over him as Edwin diving through. He's gonna look for a follow. Up in the midfield. Looking for the flip reset. Trying to go underneath, but Sand equal to it. This one back in once more. Drago to Larry. Larry's gonna fake by it, but a little bit dangerous. This one's pitched back across, leaving Sand his last back. This one flies up high. Giving his teammates some time to rotate back, but Sand can't connect on this one. And it's dangerous out of midfield. Drago tossed it out, and Botsy with a shot there. But Larry, he makes the save as the Kings once again back at it. But Drago, he's going to find the clear to send that one away. And Kings really trying to get some pressure here. They've had a couple of great opportunities. Bagels just unable to find the back of the net to tie things up here. As, wait a minute, a shot opportunity. Botsy throwing it off the post. They can't connect. Another one that they can't quite find through.
Yeah, but now on the other side, as Rex almost own goaling, as Sand was providing some disruption there. But honestly, that's what I want to see from the Kings. I want to see these quick shots, these just make a decision and fling your body at it, because I'm seeing Edwin and I've seen Rex a few times just take these air dribbles. Here we go. Edwin's taking the shot, exactly what I wanted to do. Just bang the ball on the net. You can't just be spinning around doing these weak air dribbles and getting weak touches. You got to pound this ball, and you got to put the power shots on.
And that certainly was a power shot. Finding the upper 90 is Edwin. And again, we have another tight ball game, 2-2, with 1:40 left. And these two teams still finding their goals as they look to take the series lead here in Game 3. And Sand up to the sky, gonna try to fake it underneath here. He's looking for the flip reset, but Botsy, again, another save from him as Edwin on the pre-jump. Gonna block that one out as Drago with the shot. Rex, he's able to make the save, but still dangerous as he can't quite find that touch. As the Panthers coming in, Larry off the backboard. But Drago a little bit slow on the follow. As Botsy now just one to beat. He's throwing it over and just off target. So that one could have been the go-ahead goal. Still tied at 2 apiece. Drago back in the corner. Looking to follow it as he pops it out. Rex gonna give way for Sand, who sends it a long way. Rex has to get back to this one, and he cannot. Sand just puts it home. A hat trick for him, and the Panthers back out in front.
And weird play here from Rex, who looked like he had things under control, but maybe underestimated the power of the shot. I mean, he was already well on his way back by the time Sand was even reaching the ball. I mean, just strange play from him. I would have just pre-flipped back to net to make sure he had some extra time, but it looked like he had things under control, and the last second, just letting that one slip through. Strange play coming out from him. Is another one dangerous here for the Panthers. Sand looking for the double. Did have it on target, but Edwin saving that.
And now an opportunity here as Sand comes back around, his 4th of the game. He throws it in, and the Panthers a commanding 2-goal lead.
And Sand, I mean, the third goal for him just a few seconds ago, a little bit, or not a little bit, a huge mistake there from Rex, but other goals have been excellent opportunities from him. He wasn't really playing that well Game 1, Game 2, but he has stepped up here big in Game 3, almost converting on that double tap, but sitting at 4 goals here, and now they find themselves up by 2 with 20 seconds left.
And surely they just have to hold on here in the final seconds, and we're taking a 2-1 series lead as Drago is going to send it to the corner. Rex unable to connect, as Panthers awkward there on the wall, but the Kings aren't quite ready to find the clear. And now this one back in the middle. One more. Larry's going to put it home, and he will seal the deal here in the Game 3. The Panthers definitely going to take this one.
Yeah, he decided that Sand wasn't going to get 100% goal participation ratio, as Larry getting on the board there, getting a nice 3-goal lead here in the final seconds. But this one done and dusted, as the Panthers will move up 2-1 in the series. But honestly, this has just been a strange series so far. I feel like both teams are playing really, it doesn't feel like they're playing fast, they're playing really slow. And usually when you play slow, I'm thinking methodical play style, maybe some passes in between, a lot of solo plays, but it's just a mishmash of play where sometimes players are throwing themselves at the ball and other times they're playing slow, weird rotation. We saw Rex rotate back and then just let that one go through. So even on the other side, the Panthers, they've played really well the past 2 games, but I just don't feel like either of these two teams are putting it out. And then by this point in the series, it's been 3 games. You brought up the stream nerves. The stream nerves should be out of the way
Yeah.
by now. They gotta find a way here to just, both of these teams, the play is sloppy. And honestly, I'm not having it, because I said it before and I'll say it again. You got a Pineapples who are putting 15 shots on the board every game and looking extremely twice as fast as either of these two teams are putting out right now.
Yeah, no, they definitely aren't looking the fastest. And Edwin trying to be fast here, but a slow shot is not going to find the back of the net. And, you know, I think you're right. It definitely has been a very slow-paced game from both these two teams for whatever the reason may be. And so far, it's been definitely not quite the series we expected, but the content and the games are all lined up here. Oh my goodness, Rex almost with some sort of pre-flip is Botsy almost had a shot now. Rex trying to get back to it as Edwin diving in now looking for a shot, but Sand makes a save away. And the Kings trying to turn on the speed here in this one as they know they're down in the series and trying to tie things up.
Yeah, definitely a good opening minute from them to get the offense started. Already sitting at 3 shots, but again, 2 more big saves coming out from Sand, who's been able to show up on offense and defense ever since the game 1 and game 2 where he was playing a little bit sloppy. But either way, this is what I want to see from the Kings. They just got to throw bodies on this play. They can't let the Panthers demo them and get back on the ball. Here's another bump coming out. Edwin having to dodge it. But still the Panthers.
Oh no,
There's
that's
an
open.
net here, Edwin. It's going to be slow. It's a slow roller. But again, it seems like if the pattern rings true here, which is something you always bring up, the team that scores first generally wins, and that has been the case through the first 3 games here. So Kings score first to see if they take game 4 here.
Yeah, that's definitely again interesting way to start it out if they capitalize on the mistake from the Panthers, rotated a little bit far, and the Kings looking to play a lot faster. I noticed it in the first minute, and so far it seems like they're trying to just dive on this ball, knowing that they need to tie this one up as another shot going towards the net, but Larry and Rex able to make the save away from him. As Botsy throwing this one back towards Larry, can't connect. Drago just on the goal line, able to make the save out to the side. Rex to the corner. Botsy with a demo as Rex trying to follow it through, but Edwin jumped a little bit too far, but not gonna pay the price as they're trying to send it back in. But Drago out to the side now. He's on the dribble, gonna get it by 1, sending it down. Back into the Kings zone is Rex. Clear off to the corner. Larry in the midfield. The Sand, who's dunking it through. Can he find one more? No. On the goal line, Botsy, the man on a mission on the goal line. And Bengals, I just keep talking about it because this man just seems to make every single save that's sent his way on the goal line. And, he, without Botsy, who knows where the Kings would be in this one.
Yeah, and he definitely stepped up big in the past few series here for them. Hasn't had too much of an impact on the offensive side. Had one good goal earlier, one of the previous games, but big save from him. But other than that, I mean, nobody's really been standing out. Here's Edwin trying to short infield pass that over to Rex, but defensive stop made. It really feels like the Kings have had success when all 3 players are on the ball working together, as we'll have to see. Rex couldn't quite get that one through, but I need a standout play. I need a good solo play, a good solo bump play, mechanical something coming out from the Kings, because it really feels like I need something to jumpstart their offense. They're up in this game, but again, it feels like I need more from them.
Now we'll have to see if more is coming through, and this one gonna go in the net. And I just want to reference, I think Rex broke a rule 1 in the corner for a second against Larry, and yeah, Larry's gonna score here. Maybe some instant karma. I don't know.
Perhaps, but either way, 2 players in net for the Kings. Somebody could have jumped up. That's not an easy read by any means. That one water falling straight down into the net as the Panthers once again winning the kickoff, but not able to score. But I mean, somebody's just got to jump, and again, it comes down to the speed factor. Somebody's got to make a decision quick. You can't have 2 people in net and not send one. And it feels like too many times the Kings have had a little bit of a lackadaisical rotation, and Panthers have been able to, more often than not, capitalize off of that slow rotation. And I don't know, it just comes back to the speed again as hold on Drago, but not quite as Botsy will send that away, the man you were talking about.
And now this game all knotted up at 1 apiece. The Kings looking to tie up this series, but they're going to have to find something. That one almost spelling disaster as Rex tries to throw it back on. Botsy stopping it out to Drago, who's sending it down looking for Larry, who's going to pinch this one up actually out of the midfield. Dangerous ball, but Sand is tunked out by 2 Kings defenders. Now Rex clearing this one out into the midfield again as Botsy, an opportunity. He just bangs this one away towards the backboard, and there's nobody on the backboard. Sand is panicking, and that one saved away is almost disaster. Panthers panicking a little bit here. There's another shot going towards the net. Double commit comes through, and now Larry trying to beat out Rex, and he does. And now Kings are going to have to race back 1-on-1 here. Sand trying to make something happen. A pass to Drago. He puts it in, and the Panthers take the lead.
That was a big play from Sand. I thought he was going to roll with the solo play. He had 100 boost and so much space, but opting for the great pass right there. Edwin backwards and net. Nothing he could really do. He'd have to pre-jump to find that read. And, that's the kind of plays I need out of these 2 teams. That's really like the one highlight reel play I've seen is off the kickoff. Botsy looking to score, but Sand again coming up with a big save. He's got 4 in this game.
Huge on the defensive end and huge on the offensive end as well, as now the Panthers leading here in the final seconds of game 4. The Kings trying to battle back. This one flung towards the net, but Larry gonna find it clear as Rex trying to find a block. Edwin, some boost to work with, but he's dunked out as this one heading down a long way. As now, last chance for the Kings. They send it down, but the time ticking away from them as the Panthers looking to just run it out as they find a nice 50. Botsy has to get to that one. He can't. And the Panthers are now going to take a 3-1 series lead in this one, looking to put themselves into the grand finals.
Yeah, and honestly, they're sitting in a 3-1 series lead, but it hasn't been convincing. All of these wins have been essentially by 1 goal every game, and the Kings have actually done a really good job here. I mean, besides the last game, I'm pretty sure the Panthers had a really good set of shots there in game 4, but the Kings came up big with 12 shots of their own to Panthers 7, and the Kings have been able to put up double-digit shot totals quite a few times in this series. So I'm not all too convinced by this series lead. The Kings could easily be finding themselves at 2-2, even 3-1 in the series themselves. So Kings could very well come back and win 3 in a row, or even bring it to game 7, and we'll have to see who wins there.
Yeah, that would be the dream here. But yeah, now heading into this one, the Kings on their last life, and despite getting that first win, Bagels, it's been 3 straight for the Panthers. And a little bit interesting, the Kings do not opt to use their tactical timeout. A lot of teams have been using it, but the Kings, I heard Bubbly saying something earlier that Chess Hall is non-believers in the tactical timeouts. They don't call it here, and they're gonna have to find a turnaround because it's been all Panthers after that first game.
Yeah, and game 4 there, or was that? No, that was game 4. Hold on, they're gonna find something here as Rex scoring here to start them off. And the Kings, they scored first last game, and they broke the pattern. But once again, scoring first, always a big part of the game.
Yeah, and that's a huge way to get things going. It's a beautiful pass play, sets them up. But we saw last game, like you referenced, what in the world is that kickoff there? Both players go around the ball. My goodness, as that one got a little bit scary. And oh my goodness, the Panthers, about to put that one in, but cannot. And we'll have to see if the Kings can add to this lead and get themselves a little bit more comfortable as they're fighting for their season here. One loss will send them home without a chance at the championship. It's a nice little passing play. Larry dropping it to Drago, who flicks it by, but Rex just enough to make the touch. Is Edwin able to clear it by Sand, but Larry, he's there first, able to get a touch. This one popped out. Larry just able to connect as Drago sending it home. Just a little bit wide as Edwin now on the 50. Sand beating him out to this one. Botsy trying to get to it, but Sand pops it up. Rex barely able to get the touch to the corner as the Kings now stuck in their zone, trying to save this one away. Botsy to Edwin, who pops it, but Sand still able to connect on that one. As the Kings just trying to get it out of their zone, but the Panthers are relentless here. Drago off the backboard, another one off the backboard. Sand looking for the shot there, but Botsy on the goal line, and Rex trying to find it away, and the Kings just can't get it out of their zone.
No, and I thought Sand was going to be able to step up big, but here he is to score again. And this is where the Kings have failed here. They missed out on capitalizing on these early games in the series because the past 2, even 3 games, they've allowed Sand to start performing. Game 1, Game 2, he was kind of a miss, but now he is on the field and he is a presence to be reckoned with along with Larry.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, Bangles, where were the Kings on that one? They had, I mean, there was a lot of pressure there, but oh my goodness, the demo play as Rex and Sand trade, and you know what, maybe it doesn't matter when they can answer back like that.
Yeah, and again, this has been a play or a part of the Kings game that's been missing. That's really only the second demo goal we've seen out of them, and you know, against Distortion, Edwin and Rex were just throwing themselves at those Distortion players, not letting them even breathe on the goal line. And as much of a slow series, a slow-paced game it is, I really am expecting more demos to come out, but I'm not quite sure where that part of their game has gone.
Yeah, that is a good point here, as there hasn't been a lot, but I don't know. I'm actually also curious about that as well, but these two teams just trying to find maybe more conventional means of offense. At least in this one is now the Kings hold on to a 2-1 series or 2-1 lead here in this game. They're down 1-3 in the series. They're having to look for a comeback as Rex on the wall off the pass from Edwin, trying to find a dunk through. As this one pops up, and Rex looking for it again as this ball out in the midfield. Larry sending it down. Edwin gonna pop it up. He can't quite find the follow, but Drago, he's up there first. Now with a lot of boost, though, as Botsy off the backboard. Two Panthers are jumping for that, and it could be a great shot on net, but Rex just a little bit awkward as he takes it to the sidewall. But the Kings starting to get some offenses. Now they back off a little bit. Allowing Panthers to gain a tiny bit of possession. Larry blocking in the midfield. Botsy up to Rex, looking for an opportunity. Rex dropping it down towards the net. It goes off the post. Edwin's got an open net to shoot at, but he can't put it in. Rex trying to find it. He can't. An awkward one there, but a go-ahead goal, or a securing goal. Oh my goodness, as that one pinches to the back of the net. The Kings up by 2.
Yeah, and the Kings starting to play a little bit faster. They're forcing the Panthers to be in awkward spots, and a little bit of a calculated goal there coming out from the Kings. But either way, they are continuing to put the Panthers in awkward situations on defense, forcing them to double commit, even a triple commit in that previous save. And eventually, if you do that enough times, the boost is going to run out, and the Kings have been able to score here a lot. 3 goals for the first time in quite a while, and that's exactly what you want to do.
I was gonna say the speed is definitely picked up from the Kings, specifically to try to come back in this one, and that's huge here when we talk about how slow this game was. As Sand is gonna capitalize and bring his team back within 1.
Yeah, right as we were talking about speed, Botsy decided to put it in reverse and allow Sand to get another goal there. But either way, good shot from Sand to put that perfectly in the corner, away from the backwards Botsy. But I mean, again, that was another kickoff goal from the Panthers. That's been one area of their game where I don't know how, but somehow they've just been consistently winning these kickoffs and able to score more often than not.
It can be dangerous on those kickoffs, as we've seen so far in this one, as we saw in their last series as well. And now they're trying to make something come back here. As Rex, a nice pass in the midfield, but Sand gets it by as the Kings are racing back now, flinging to this 1-goal lead as a pinch comes through. And sent off to the side. Larry gonna get it by Botsy as Edwin on the catch, but Drago diving in as Rex is wiped off the map. The net is open. Sand looking for the shot, but he's just wide. He couldn't quite put it through. Maybe looking for his teammate in the corner there. Doesn't quite materialize as this one's sent up. Botsy, maybe a little bit of a fake there as this one's sent down. Rex, last man back. Gotta get to this one. He's getting bumped, and Sand is coming in, throwing it on net again, and Drago's gonna sneak it in the inside post, and the Panthers have tied it up.
And again, Botsy, he was last back, and he rotated on the near post and perhaps even the right spot, but he slammed on the brakes, and that allowed Drago to come flying in. That's the first time I've really seen Panthers commit that hard for a goal, but they really want to shut it down. They don't want to go to Game 6 or Game 7. They want this, and they are on match point right now.
Now, 1 win from them, and they are moving on to a date with the Pineapples in the grand finals on Saturday night. But the Kings hoping to stave off elimination and live to see another match. As this one's sent down, the Panthers have an opportunity here. Edwin is faked out by Sand, who doesn't have any boost. He gets it by 2 defenders. As this one rolling up awkwardly, Botsy throws it across. But the Panthers not quite there to capitalize on that one. As Rex harassing Larry, but he sends it back up. This one dangerous again. Edwin finding the clear, but it's right to Sand, who's keeping it back in. The Kings hoping to get this one out and probably try to get to overtime as Botsy sends it down towards the net. Larry dropping it to Sand, who's on the dribble, but he can't get it. And yet again, Bankless, we are heading to overtime between these two teams.
Yeah, this is flashbacks of game 1.
My.
Drago, he's last back, and he pushed up too far as Edwin gonna send the howitzer through it. This is what I want. Stop the air roll. Stop the air roll BS. Just put a power shot on it. Another one will go through.
Yeah, that one, the game winner for the Kings, who are living to fight yet again as they clutch up in that one. A huge win there, Bagels, and now they bring themselves back here. They force a Game 6 where we all know anything can happen, and a huge win. They needed that one badly.
And again, another 1-goal discrepancy here in these victories for both these teams. I think there's only been 1 game in the series, and that one was only separated by 2 goals. And so it's been a slow series. It's been a strange series, but one thing's for sure is that it has been a close series, and hopefully looking to continue that heading into Game 6. But I mean, the Kings, I really feel like the Panthers have started to play well, but the Kings, they stepped up the speed there in Game 5. and they didn't get that many shots. They only got 4 shots, but it really did feel like they were playing more of their game. They got that demo goal. The speed was there. And honestly, they just got to get Edwin more involved on the offense because I really feel like he hasn't been bumping. He hasn't been the shooter. It's mainly been Rex and Botsy. And I need Edwin to step up here.
And we'll have to see. Can Edwin and the Kings step up big? As, oh my goodness, a huge mistake comes through. And there's Botsy. Maybe they don't need Edwin right now as Botsy sets this one up and into the back of the net.
Well, Edwin did kind of set the table there, forcing Larry to be in an awkward spot off the backboard. Larry probably should have cleared that, but either way, Edwin putting in an awkward spot, and Botsy sending that one into the right side behind both those Panthers defenders is another big miss on the kickoff, and Rex is going to capitalize, and suddenly the woes for the kickoffs here for the Kings have been erased as they've scored 2 quick kickoff goals.
And Sand can't connect on the sidewall after that banger of a kickoff. Sets things up from Botsy, and yeah, that's Bengals 12 seconds in, and you're down to your last life, and you put 2 goals in Game 6 in 12 seconds. That is huge for your confidence.
And if I were the Panthers, I'd be extremely rattled right now. But on the counterattack, Sand there, but just off target off the infield. Still dangerous for Larry, and somebody should put this in. Drago. I mean, the Kings defenders, the ball was just zooming around their heads so many times, they didn't know where it was going.
And yeah, I don't think they're rattled at all there, Bengals. They just come right back with some bangers, and that one was tough to even keep track of as that ball was flying off the backboard multiple times, and the Panthers find another goal, and it might be starting to look like earlier in the series where we just had so many goals in the first minute. We've already got 3 in this Game 6.
Yeah, and then again, if the Panthers win the kickoff, more often than not, they do score, and they won it there. And they just got that opening 10-15 seconds of pressure and infield passes. They're looking for another one. Drago to the middle. But Edwin going to roll this one off to the side. But, I mean, good answer from them after giving up those 2 goals that probably shouldn't have been goals.
So this one in the King zone. Awkward ball, but Botsy is going to find the clear and set this one up high. Botsy chasing this one down. He's going to beat a defender as Drago, last man there. He can't find the touch. Dangerous, but Larry going to find the touch to the side. This one awkward in the midfield. Drago going to bang it down. Kings forced to rotate back. This one again out of the midfield. Rex avoiding the bump as he's going to flick it by Larry. It's last man back, an awkward touch, but it's right to Drago, who sends it a long way. Edwin just enough to get back on defense as Sand again and popping this one up. They're going to clear it away, but a huge opportunity from both sides. Still 2-1 margin stands as this one fired in the midfield. Sand, an awkward touch. Where is the follow from the Kings? A little bit slow. That's going to allow Drago to clear it away for the moment. Is now Sand. He's going to bang it right into Botsy, and both these teams are finding their opportunities here, but just not finding the back of the net.
Yeah, and it's looking like both these teams are trying. They're stepping on the gas pedal. They're trying to ramp up the pressure here on Forbidden Temple. As another infield pass over to Sand, back over to Drago, but Drago, a little bit of a field side flip opportunity gone awry, but the speed ramping up, and it really feels like the defenses on both these teams are having one player last back and having to make a last-ditch save. Even right there, Sand, a little bit of an awkward read, but offenses, they're trying. It's just a matter if the defense can hold, but nobody can hold Rex right now as he's sitting at 2 goals here.
Yeah, huge shot here, but it's set up by this bump play. Edwin just wipes Larry, just sends him towards the back post, and Rex sneaks it home. So Edwin, he is stepping up there, setting up another goal for his team, as now the Kings back out in front by 2 as we approach the halfway point. They've got to hold on if they're going to want to force a Game 7.
And this is what I wanted from Edwin. This is what I said earlier in this game before we started, earlier in the series. I need just Edwin on the offensive presence, getting 50s in the corner and following it up with those boost steals and that bumps. And we've seen it. If the Kings get these bumps, they score. And they've been successful here in Game 6.
Most definitely one of the win conditions for Kings. And the great pass comes out. Rex towards the net. It's off the post. Botsy can't follow. But Edwin turning around off the backboard. The double tap. He puts it home. And Edwin, huge for the Kings.
Absolutely great shot from him. But again, it all got started off from an Edwin bump. He didn't find contact, but he's making the Panthers be put in awkward spots. And eventually, even with the missed opportunity, that one bouncing off the corner, the Panthers were still awkward, and the Kings capitalizing. They have finally started to come into their own play style. They're allowing Edwin to be that offensive presence, that boost stealer, that bumper, and it's working right now. And it's just a completely different Kings right now.
Yeah, they are looking like a team with nothing to lose, and they are, as their season's still on the line here, but they have a 3-goal lead in Game 6. As they are fighting to force a Game 7. Larry harassing in the net, an opportunity for Botsy comes back to shut it down. Is that one almost a goal? The follow again off the post as Botsy once more, Sand dunking it through, it's dropping down awkwardly, Sand just tapped it in, but it's saved, and Drago follows it home, and the madness on Forbidden Temple.
And that was kind of well, there was flashbacks to the first goal where the Panthers just put so many fast opportunities on. Instead, it was a lot of slow opportunities, but either way, they broke down the Kings defense, and Drago has scored 2 goals here in this Game 6, but I really feel like ever since he gave up that Game 5 overtime loss to the Kings, it really feels like he's been playing a little bit tentative, so good to see him at least get 2 on the board here and try and build that confidence up to mount a comeback in the final minute, or if they do head to Game 6, he has an open net here, but he can't find the accuracy, and again, another opportunity where Drago could have helped his team out.
That one, a missed opportunity there, as the Panthers still have a chance here in this Game 6, as they're only down by 2 with a minute remaining. With the way this series has been going, we know these teams can score goals, and they can score them quickly. As Drago trying to send this one out, back out of the midfield, Drago able to find a touchdown, but right to Botsy, who's wasting a lot of time here into the corner, finding another touch, just awkwardly dropping it, as this one still hanging around. Rex off the backboard, dangerous Drago with a nice clear, sets up Larry, who's going to bang it down, but Botsy, he's just back, and he was just waiting. As Sand trying to set this one up, Drago, he's going to find it, but doesn't have much boost to work with, as the Kings just camping on the defensive end, just parking the bus, hoping to hold on and force this Game 7 as Panthers throw this one to the midfield. Sand looked like he was trying to find a demo of some sort. Is this one sent back towards the net, but just a little bit wide? And the final seconds now ticking away. The Kings send it down. And unless there's some miracle here by this shot, if it can go in the net, Botsy awkward. Can they find one to end it? It's not going to matter. We are heading to a game number 7.
Yeah, and so many times, I mean, this really has been... this series isn't really necessarily the best indicator, but I mean, Season 5 has just been so competitive. We've seen so many Game 7s, and not only Game 7s that have gone back and forth, we've seen a lot of series where the team that is down 3-1 come back and bring it to Game 7. They may not necessarily always win it when they bring it to Game 7, but I mean, props to all these teams that are coming down from the gutters. They're feeling like their confidence is low, but then all of a sudden, we see the Kings, they found their play style, and they're taking it to the Panthers, and the Panthers... They should be worried right now.
Yeah, they definitely should be after back-to-back wins to force a Game 7. And Bagels, it looks like these two teams, they look completely different than what we saw in the first couple games. I mean, so sloppy, so many mistakes, but in these last couple games, I mean, especially for the Kings to win these last 2, they have looked so much better.
Yeah, and even the shot totals, even here in Game 6, both of the offensives have been clicking. I mean, the Panthers, they had such little offensive pressure, but the little offensive pressure they did have, it was just quick passing plays, quick bounces off the backboard, and they completely broke down the Kings defense within 3-4 seconds. So if they can find that here in Game 7, they can meet the Pineapples there in the grand finals. But on the other side, if they allow the Kings, they allow Edwin to get these bumps, these boost steals, and allow these players like Rex and Botsy to put these ones away, they're going to be in a bit of a herd of trouble here.
Yeah, they definitely will be. And it all comes down to this for both these teams. It is do or die time. The winner is going to Game 7. Oh my word. That would almost go to the back of the net, but the Kings holding on here. As Panthers and Kings, a great series. Rex banging it down. He's going to take the first goal. He sends it a long way as the Kings start out first.
Yeah, and you got to feel like if you're the Panthers there, as Sand, he probably should have been back. He got cheating for that mid boost, but I mean, they almost doubled that one through the Kings net, but that was Sand's ball. Larry, he just jumped up for that one. He had no real shot opportunity. Sand needed to be that shooter, and the shot got taken away from him, and he got scored on in 5 seconds as another big whiff from Larry coming out. Sand sending it to his own corner, but still dangerous. But it really feels like the Panthers, they need the hard comms right now. They need the chemistry.
Yeah, they need to bring it back. They played great in this series so far. you're just joining us, they took a 3-1 series lead and looked like they were going to potentially run away with this one. It's Sand, Botsy on the goal line, a huge save. It's Panic coming out from the Kings, and Botsy, once again, a defensive mastermind as he makes a huge save, and he's making a huge flick, but Sand, on the other end, he's equal to the task as he saves that one away. These two teams, Bengals, just so much better in these last couple games, and it is getting real intense out here.
Yeah, and especially Sand, and that's why I wanted Sand to be the guy taking the shot there. I didn't want Larry to take it from him, but Sand, ever since Game 2, he has stepped up so big on the defense. A little bit awkward here as a team pitch coming out, but Botsy will be able to get back to this, but Sand, he has stepped up big on the defense and the offense, but here's Larry, and another huge save. Defensive stands on both sides here in Game 7.
Oh my goodness, these two teams on the defense. Edwin with a huge save to keep it out of the back of the net. As the Kings holding on their 1-goal margin. Is this one back in the corner? Drago banging it down the field. Sand on the sidewall looking for this one off the backboard. Edwin with a nice little pinch to the corners. Drago set it up. Larry there for the shot as two Kings commit, and Drago, he cleans it up to tie up this Game 7.
And I believe after that shot coming on from Larry, he got some bumps in net, or actually he didn't. It was just a double commit. In fact, Rex and Botsy bumping each other, and just somebody needed to be able to clear that ball, but unfortunately for them, they're going to allow the Panthers to get back in this game.
A tie ball game we have in this Game 7 as a shot coming through. Sand just on the goal line. He's able to make that save as now the Panthers sending it back down. Pressure is on for both these teams as we near the halfway point of Game 7. As Larry towards the net. Oh my goodness, it's going to pinch through. The Kings can't save it away, and Larry gives the Panthers the lead.
And again, two Kings are in the same spot, and they bump into each other.
Oh.
And I'm not even quite sure. I don't know who was on the wall there, but whoever was in the net, that was their ball. And I think he may have even gotten called off, but he just froze. And by freezing, he allowed the ball to get bounced off of him. But either way, 2 goals that the Kings should not have given up after getting such a good goal to start it off. And the defense being so great just moments ago. And now you hate to give up those 2-1s as here's Sand. Rex last back, a little bit of an awkward jump, but they can't allow the Panthers to be getting these goals, but they're continuing to do so with these infield passes, and they've been capitalizing off these passes all series.
They really have. Is Sand, he's been looking for Drago. That is reminiscent of one of their earlier plays where Sand might have had a net to shoot at, opts for the pass, and this one works to perfection as the Panthers 3 unanswered goals here. Now they're up 3-1. The Kings looking for something. Rex just by. Well, this one gonna hit into the ceiling. No one able to read that one as it comes flailing back down. Botsy trying to get up to the challenges now. The time ticking. It's of the essence for the Kings as they have to find 2 goals at least to send it to overtime. Is this one a pass out of midfield? Botsy trying to get to it. He can't connect. Is that one awkward? Larry off the backboard. Dangerous ball as the Panthers double commit on this one. Edwin, he's gonna find it up as Sand. Walks across the midfield, and Rex popping this one up high. Has Botsy on the backboard. Botsy drops it down, and it's off the crossbar again. Edwin for the follow off the backboard. They can't put it in. A huge opportunity. They just can't find it. And the score stands at 3-1.
And I really feel like they tried their hearts out there. I'm not really sure there was much more that could have been done as a huge bump, but Edwin stepping up big for his team to prevent another goal from coming in. And they just got to get something going. They got to get some passes. Edwin tried an infield pass earlier, but that's been one element of their whole game. They haven't been doing all series, a lot of solo plays, and that's been working for the Panthers. They've been infield passing all series, but they need to innovate here. They need something new in this final minute.
Oh, as this one might be a huge mistake, but Edwin on the goal line, keeping his team alive with a savior medal. And now the Kings still have to find 2 goals here to force overtime as now they're under a minute. All the Panthers are in on this one. Rex can't connect. It's to the corner. Drago is up, looking for the shot. He throws it just wide. But time ticking away from the Kings. Can they take it down? Sand, he cuts this one off as they're just harassing, trying to suffocate the Kings. Do not let them get away. As this ball back in, once again, the Panthers just try to hold on. Final 30 seconds now. The Kings looking to take this one out, but they're dunked again. Larry, he denies them away. Now this one sent over the backboard. Sand back in. They're just suffocating him right now as the Kings trying to break out, but they're not having any of it. Are the Panthers as they keep it in the seconds ticking away and they have to find 2 goals in the final 10 seconds. It's looking like it may just be impossible. Rex tries to send it home, but it's not going to matter as this one flies up in the midfield, and that is going to do it. The Panthers survive the comeback from the Kings, and they are moving on to the grand finals where they will take on the number 1 seeded Pineapples.
Yeah, and props to the Panthers to be able to stave off essentially a reverse sweep from the Kings. And honestly, just as the Kings were finding their mark, all of a sudden the Panthers resort back to what has found them success all series, all season, and that's been those infield passes. They tried the solo plays with Larry and Drago, even Sand, but the solo plays are not what makes this Panthers team successful. It's been these infield passes, and even if they don't score off the initial infield pass, we see the shot totals when the Panthers win, they win big. Reminiscent of the Pineapples, they win big in these shot totals, and if they get those infield passes going, they are just absolutely dominant. And that is exactly what they did here in Game 7.
Yeah, another Game 7 in the rival league, an absolutely crazy matchup. The Kings hold on to survive. What a game there, Bagels, and we're coming back for the next one here, which is also set up to be a banger, as we have Gravity taking on Blizzard in just a couple minutes. We'll be back in a moment. We'll talk a lot more about that. Me and Bagels, we'll be back for this one. Stick around. We're going to a short break. We're going to be back as we're heading to the Titan League. See you guys in a couple minutes.